Warisi was facing deportation. She couldn't accept that everything would end this way. After escaping her tribe years ago, she had first gone to her grandmother for help. Her grandmother helped her get a passport and introduced her to a job as a housemaid at the Somali embassy in London. She lived for years in that dark, damp basement until civil war broke out in Somalia. When the regime changed, the embassy was forced to shut down and she was left homeless on the streets of London. Now, although her modeling agency had paid for her release, if her residence permit couldn't be renewed, she would still be deported. Back at her apartment, a maintenance worker who secretly liked her made an offer. If she married him, a local citizen, all her problems would disappear. Warisi would rather die than go back to that tribe. Ignoring her friend's warning, she agreed to marry him. At first, they made an agreement, a marriage on paper only. But over time, the man wanted more. Tempted by her beauty, he crossed the line during an immigration inspection, forcing a kiss on her in front of the officers. The act left Warisi humiliated and furious, but she could do nothing about it. Her work life wasn't going any better. She still couldn't travel abroad for shows, and to repay the large bail, the agency pressured her to pose for more revealing shoots. The weight of it all pushed her to the edge. Thankfully, her loyal friend never left her side, helping her hold on. Then one day, a letter arrived out of nowhere and changed everything. Her application had finally been approved. Warisi immediately returned the wedding ring to the worker. Free of fear and debt, she was finally ready to soar. When she stepped back onto the runway, she was no longer a survivor drifting through life, but a woman in control of her own destiny. She had undergone a complete transformation. Her headscarf flowed like a banner in the desert wind. Under the flash of cameras, she walked with grace and power. No longer a girl ruled by fate. She wasn't just modeling clothes. She was showing her soul, a rhythm born of resilience and raw beauty. The body that once carried scars had become a symbol of strength and pride. From a Somali shepherd's daughter to an international supermodel, the blooming of this desert flower inspired millions. Yet at the height of fame, Warisi turned toward a heavier calling. When fashion magazines invited her for interviews, she didn't talk about glamour or success. Instead, she revealed her scars and spoke of a centuries-old practice that still hurt millions of girls around the world. Her words moved reporters to tears and sent shockwaves through global media. Invited to speak at the United Nations, she was no longer just a supermodel. She was a voice cutting through silence, challenging the world's indifference. She exposed how millions of women suffer infections, complications, and death from what some still call a virtue of purity, and how those who refuse are often shamed and cast out. Her speech made people realize how lucky they were to live in a freer world, and forced them to see that ignorance can wound deeper than poverty. As Warisi once said, "The last camel in the caravan sleeps beside the first." Every woman's pain is tied to the progress of all humankind. This film is based on the true story of Somali supermodel Waris Dirie. In 1990,